it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. Try that. Right, you try talking, Matt. Why would you do this to me, OBS? All right. Let's go with so many options. All right, let's try that.
Hello.
Excellent.
Hello.
Now you should be able to hear us. Apologies about that, chaps. Now you should be able to hear both me and Matt with any luck. I mean, they say luck. I don't know about that. I mean,
Yeah, only if you really want to. Like
a fair amount of foreboding. You're doing that doubling up thing. Let me just change that real quick. How have you guys all been? I hope you've all been well.
Yeah, only if you really want to.
GW have been showing stuff off to us and just see how it looks. All right. So you said you have been up to shenanigans, Matt, basically, yeah?
No, I said I had to go to a place to get a thing to help me do stuff, to help me do certain things.
It sounds like shenanigans. Right, let's just boost it up. Who's low? Both of us? So you said you have been up to shenanigans, Matt, basically. Shouldn't be too bad.
No,
Let me just check the
To a
game.
place to get a thing to help me.
Got the usual delay on YouTube. Okay. Right, let me just bump the gain up on my mic as well, because I had to bump it down for Critical Drinker because it was apparently I was deafening on the something. Right, there we go. Just let us know if that's good. If not, I'll bump Matt up manually. We're all good. So yeah, I was doing some painting earlier because I was just like, I'm going to take a couple of days off YouTube. I reviewed Star Trek Academy episode 5, and then I talked about it on Friday on UK Danger Man's channel, and I was just like, nope, I'm done. So yeah, so I was just having a quick look, sort of like at what I've got to paint, and I've got a lot of paint, a lot to paint. I've got a lot to assemble. I mean, the piles of shame are real, and when you 3D paint, 3D print, it's even worse, dude. Like, it's even worse. So, yo, Grumpy, this Defiler sucks ass. Well, we're going to have a look at that, aren't we? We may as well get that out of the way first of all. So let me negotiate my way over to the right window, because there are many windows and not all of them are correct. Let's have a quick look. This should be the right one. There we go. Right, so as you'll see, what we have here is the old Defiler. Now, the old Defiler is, showing its age. Bless it. It was always a little bit, I mean, we're talking early 2000s this came out, Matt?
I maybe.
I mean, I've got a feeling this came out shortly after I left GW.
I know it was a thing in the original Dawn of War.
Mm. Oh yeah, it was in the original Dawn of War.
So you might be able to judge the age by that.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know the Soul Grinder came out later because it was a Forge World add-on. But when it comes to this particular model,
it was.
I've got a feeling that not the Soul Plague Hulk was the Forge World one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Whereas the Soul
Grinder was based on a Defiler.
Sorry.
Was that based on a Defiler?
It was based on a Defiler. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because it was on the legs.
Okay, carry on.
But I mean, it was iconic. People knew what it looked like, and it looked like it did a lot of stuff. I mean, it's got quite a lot of reach on it with its claws. Its legs look nice and like sort of articulated. Yeah, it was crude. Yeah, it was chunky. I get all that. But then what GW went and did was they went, okay, well, hold our beer, because what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into this. Okay, let's get your thoughts, dude, first of all, because you're going to be more positive about this than I am.
Yeah, I was just wondering what you were going to bust out. Were you going to bust out the Plague Hulk, or are you going to bust out the new version?
No, this is the new Defiler. This is the new Defiler I'm looking at now on Warhammer Community's website. So obviously you've got lots of pictures. Some look worse than others.
I mostly really like it.
Okay.
I mean,
talk us through your thinking, because I'm about to sort of rip this thing a new one, basically.
I'm kind of blessed in that I don't actually field a Chaos Army Beyond Demons, so I'm never going to have to get one.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, pending actually seeing a proper 360 of it rather than
And
just
that is,
still.
we have to be honest, we haven't seen the 360. Sometimes they don't always choose the best angles that show how much certain bits stick out and all that kind of stuff. So we are based purely upon the pictures we're seeing, and they did give us a few more to look at. Was it down here? Yeah, so we get to see a bit more of a side profile and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I certainly had a few problems with it. But yeah, carry on with your thinking, dude. I mean, I presume you've looked at the various photos that we have been afforded.
Yeah. I mean, once again, like with the Demon Prince, I'm really happy that they did different heads for it.
Yeah,
For
that
the
was cool.
different,
And it looks like just not different heads, like there's different carapaces for the back of it.
I think that's probably just three different ones. One's got a rack, one's smooth, and then the other one's got like the bedlam axis stuffed
Yeah,
on
I
it.
mean, one of them looked like it had 1,000 suns. Let me just go back real quick. You see, this one's got like a little 1,000 sun symbol going over the head.
That's part of the head.
Is that part of the head? Are you sure? Because it looks like it
Yeah.
goes into the carapace.
I would say it's probably part of the head. Either that, or it's just an extra bit that just slaps on.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Emperor's
through the
Children one
middle of
next to it, the Emperor's Children one has got a little curved out bit, so I reckon it's a bit of
Yeah,
plastic that goes on top.
yeah. Those two carapaces are the same.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and then we've got the Nurgle one looks to be different, even though that one's got teeth and not the corn one. But yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so
Yeah,
carry on.
it's actually got a trophy rack slapped on top as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a separate bit or the same, or the same bit as it were, because you see
I think
they've also got that one on the main oh god, what's it called? The Black Legion kit. You've got the same thing with those kind of teethy things.
yeah, I'd say that's a different carapace.
2003 paint at dawn. Thank you very much. That's just after I left GW, so I was absolutely right. Yeah, cool. It's an old kit. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think the heads look good.
As well.
We're looking at the whole thing at the moment.
Yeah. And I sort of look at it and I'm like, oh, I see you've stuck a blob of a demon flesh in the middle. And I know Cole took umbrage at that because he prefers the old design, which is all purely mechanical and industrial. And I can see a point for that because it further separates it out from like the Soul Grinder, which is kind of like mecha bottom, fleshy top.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. I mean, did the Soul Grinder make it into the New Chaos Codex? I'm not sure if it did. I mean, I presume it did, but if it did, it wouldn't matter because it's going to be out of date in like 2 months anyway when 11th comes along. So,
yeah. And I can see arguments for and against. Like I could see a Defiler based on the old one, so that it's purely mechanical without like a fleshy bit in the middle.
Yeah.
Or on the insides of the arms, as you can see on like the flaily arm that it's got. And I'd say because that further differentiates it from the Soul Grinder and some other demon engines. But then again, you've already got other mechanical demon engines like the Mauler Fiend and the Forge Fiend. The crappy spidery thing that came out in the Shadow Spear box, was it? I was never ever a fan of, so I didn't look at it too closely. So I don't know if that's got fleshy bits as well. I'm assuming that they're doing it just to differentiate them all out from each other. So I like it, and I can also see why they put a big lump of flesh in the middle because it gives them more freedom to model the thing in a more dynamic pose.
Yeah.
Because the lumpy bit of flesh in the middle can be whatever they want it to be to get the pose they want, rather than just, oh no, it's all stuck together by bits of metal things.
I mean, there's a lot of different we can see just from the pictures that they provided that there's quite a lot of different stuff in the kit. Assuming it's one kit, you've got double las cannons here, you've got missile launchers and plasma, I guess.
You've
got a Reaper auto cannon to kill everything here. You know, there's a lot of different stuff to this kit. It's going to be a pricey kit. There's no two ways about it. I mean, this is going to be.
I like it in that it looks like it's like a Swiss Army Defiler in that it can do a whole load of stuff in your army. And I'm assuming that the Emperor's Children have access to it, given that it's in their colours.
Yeah,
which may be a reason as to why they didn't get a Predator.
I mean, I've got a feeling they might be moving away from, using these kind of tanks and things for the space,
which is
trying to make them their own.
Which is a shame. Yeah,
my thoughts on this model is the same, pretty much as
Carl. I mean,
as DMK 94. I honestly thought it looked like the Hellpit Abomination, and somebody just slapped some armor on it. One of my main problems with this is from a practical point of view, it doesn't look dangerous. Now, the way that I want to voice this is this. So you look at this looks like it's got reach with those great big arms. It looks like it's fast and it can get to you. It can still blap you from miles away. Yeah, it's crude, but it looks quite deadly. For my mind, I look at this and it looks like as long as I stay 10 metres away from it, I'm pretty much fine. Because it's got little T-Rex arms that don't look like they can reach anywhere, you know? And I don't think that helps with the overall profile. Now, if we look at the side-on view, we can see that, again, it doesn't look like it's got much reach to it. So the overall silhouette of the model starts to look quite odd. Also, on top of that, I think there's too much flesh. This one, if you look, has got extra armour plates all over it, which does make it look a little bit different. But it's also really high up here, which has completely changed the profile of the creature. So if you look at this old one, and I keep going back to the old one, it's quite low down, like a tank. It looks like a tank on legs, which is fine. This new one just looks kind of weird, if I'm being honest. I can appreciate that they've kept the head, and that's kind of cool, and it's all tucked away now. It's not just sitting out the top like a, like a targeter or something like that.
Or targeting itself.
Yeah, targeting itself. Yeah, exactly. Please headshot me. And I appreciate that. And I think that, it's got some cool design cues on it. And I like seeing you've got these armor bits here that have got some scratches in. I'm presuming that's in the actual model itself. Yeah, so you can see that's in the actual plastic. But overall, this doesn't look like something that has been possessed by a demon. It looks like somebody's slapped armor plates onto a demon. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems I think I have with it overall. I think that you could kit bash something pretty damn cool out of this. I think if you do some work, you sort of take it apart, put some green stuff on it, extend the arms a little bit, you'll have something kind of cool. But as it is at the moment, it just doesn't look like it really does anything. And do you know what this reminds me of? This kind of profile here. This reminds me of those cool little Nurgle Bliphitic Blight haulers.
The haulers.
Yeah.
They were really cool.
I do like
really
those
like
as cute little Nurgle things. I think once you scale it up to this kind of huge chaos thing, it doesn't quite work for me. Now, I'm fully prepared to admit that, it's only what we've been shown, and GW have shown off so much Iron Warrior stuff. I do wonder if they've got anything left. I love the Nurgle head. I think you're going to get loads of bits off this that are going to be really cool. I would think they're going to redo the Hellbrute because it looks like absolute arse next to this kind of, style of thing. But I think as a reconceptualization of the Defiler, it doesn't work for me. And I think Kevin's right. It looks very Doom-like, especially with these kind of pistons going in here. You get a very sort of cyber demon look out of it.
Those two pistons at the front into the flesh.
Yeah, exactly. And you see you've got the ones at the top here as well that go down.
They're the same as the Soul Grinder. That's got a pair of pistons at the front.
I do wonder if this is going to dual build the Soul Grinder, or if the Soul Grinder's going away. You can see this one's got like more of a melee weapon.
Yeah.
I do wish they put in a 360, and I also really wish we got a top view for this one. But for me, while I can't say it's worse than this, because this is kind of this is mid 2000s. You can't say, in all honesty, that this is it's got higher fidelity. It's got more to it. It's got more motion and all that kind of stuff. But I feel that as the concept for the Defiler, it has lost something in the conversion. That is my kind of feeling for it. This is just literally a dude. Look, it's just like a torso, and anything else is just kind of grown out of it. So, it might be another one of those things where GW have basically heavy metaled it up, and it kind of looks cartoony because of that, and maybe somebody doing some really good work on this will make it look not cartoony. But that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from it at the moment, which means that it fits into current GW, for better or worse. I also wasn't particularly taken by the Mutilators, but again, it's hard to get worse than what we had. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they were
I mean,
terribly bad.
I mean, to be frank, I've never actually seen a proper Defiler on the table. No one I know's got one. Over all the
No, it was a
years that
soul
I've been
grinder we went up
playing,
against with
I've
Dave,
never,
wasn't it?
I've
Yeah.
never seen. I mean, I've got my own soul grinder for my demons because we got those. But whenever I saw this thing crop up in Dawn of War, I was like, "What is this piece of shit that they've sent at me?" I've never liked the old Defiler. I thought it just looks crap.
Yeah.
So clapping eyes on this one, I'm just like, yes, have some. Should I have some
I mean,
coffee?
I just,
Yes,
as I say, the overwhelming impression that I do get from it is that Hell Rat Abomination Skaven thing with just chuck loads of armor plates on it. It may well look better in a 360. I mean, I presume GW still do them, but for me, it's just not working. It's not reading as what I imagine that thing to be from the lore and chaos and all that kind of stuff. Why is one of the legs got earrings through the armor plate? Which leg's that? Where? Let's go down. Big in the class claw novel. I didn't read the claw novel actually. Wasn't he going a bit mad? Earrings, because I mean, earrings would be a very Slaneshi thing, wouldn't they? Where's his earrings? Can you see them? Am I going mad? I might be going mad. Where's the earrings, Kevin?
I have improved my close-up eyesight, but I'm not seeing them even.
No. I'm going mad. Yeah, I just don't think, I mean, as I say, it's one of those things, unfortunately, where you're going to do it at an angle, and the angle's not necessarily going to help you out, because these claws are going to look foreshortened from this front angle, you know, and we can see that you've got different ways that you can arrange the claws. So here they just look like another pair of legs.
I want to see what the lower body looks like, because I mean, it looks better than the lower half on a Soul Grinder, which is basically just a platform with legs, whereas this one almost looks sort of spiderish.
Yeah, that's kind of. It's got like look. If you look at the back here, you've got kind of like an abdomen with like segmented, almost like a tail.
Yeah,
that
exactly,
I presume curves underneath. That's going to be to make it look like the Venom Cannon.
Probably,
because obviously you get design languages.
Yeah, and I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm like, it sort of looks like I can't remember what the fuck they're called now, but like the arachnid race from World of Warcraft, in that they're kind of like arachnid centaurs. So they've got like an arachnid bottom half, and then like a humanoid torso on the front, and they've sort of done that here. But if you look at the Iron Warriors one in the little scrolly pictures, the torso's different.
Yeah, that's what I said. They put armor plates on it. You can see.
Yeah.
There's extra armor plates, which in my opinion does actually help it quite a bit. But if you look, you can see how short these claws are as well at the front. Doesn't look like they even go over the base. And this is, sort of.
I suspect they are more for sieges and for doing over immobilized vehicles,
so it looks
rather
like
than
a lot less grabby than it used to. And I think overall I'm a little bit disappointed. I mean, it needed an update, but I don't think it's that brilliant. But moving on from the Defiler, let's have a quick look at see what our I see him. Matt, do you see him? See where the chevrons are?
No, because I just closed the tab window. Hold on.
So on the Iron Warriors one, where the chevrons are, just look at the front at the groove that's carved out where the arrow goes up. There's some.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely
in the trim.
That's definitely a Slaneshi thing, I think. There, to be fair.
Just there in the trim, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's okay, but I'm not. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. I mean, Cash just doesn't work for me really. Another thing I would look at really quickly was better than the mutilators by far. I mean, I don't like the mutilators either. By the way, our poll is the new Defiler is an abomination in all the right ways, 31%, and an abomination in all the wrong ways, 69%. So largely people aren't that pleased with it, but as I say, that's just me with chaos in general. I look at things like Bastarium and I'm like, that's what chaos could look like, and that's what chaos should look like, and they don't, because it's cartoony and it's tactical assets. So I wanted to talk about this map because this looks really, really awesome. But unfortunately they waited until the last 2 months of 10th edition to do it.
What are you talking about?
Bring your own warlords to life with custom character rules in the Maelstrom, Crucible of Champions.
Oh, that. It's too little too late. Like, where's the rest of my war gear, you pricks?
Yeah,
what have you done? You've gutted everything and then chucked people a bone right at the end of the edition.
It's like boarding actions in the last one, wasn't it? It's like, enjoy this for 2 months. Now we've reset everything, and now
Yeah,
start
thanks a
from
bunch.
scratch. Which is a shame because this looks kind of fun, I think, guys. I mean, the whole idea of making your own champions was a thing all the way back in Rogue Trader. We've had variants of it over the years. Obviously, second edition, you could just choose your level of Space Marine captain and then just slap war gear on him as that level allowed. The same with librarians. You had Epistolary, Codicia, Lexicanium.
I don't know you remember those.
I kind of think this is cool, but again, at the same time, I'm like, why wait till the end campaign to?
Why bother? Should just roll it into 11th instead.
Well, I mean, we know nothing about 11th yet, apart from the fact that I imagine we'll get
IKEA instruction booklet.
I'm thinking the cinematic trailer. I think we'll get that at Adepticon next month. That's March. March?
I'm not holding out hope for that either. Not after the last one.
I don't see them changing much, if I'm being honest. But we'll have to wait and see. I think they know what they're doing, what they want to do with 40k. They know what they want to do with Horus Heresy, and they've just two divergent paths. But obviously, you've got some conversions here. You've got, a little bit of creativity back, which is nice. I like to see communities getting up to creative stuff, ideas and all that kind of stuff. And although it seems to be fairly limited in what you can do, because obviously it's still at the end of the day Warhammer 40,000. They don't want to, go to the rogue trader levels or anything like that.
Don't go to the 30k levels of allowing you to build your own character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously back in the rogue trader days, you literally buy your stat line, as it were, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see people, putting in this effort. And unfortunately, I imagine it will get mentioned in a White Dwarf, and then it'll be gone. The thing that irks me is that it has little hints of brilliance, but the designers have just gone hog wild with their AutoCAD and just added so much extra detail and shite to the already busy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just looks like exactly what I expected it to look like. Unfortunately, I think I just kind of. I mean, it's weird actually. I will go back just very, very quickly because it is a good point. So we go back to the Defiler real quick, and the picture I wanted to look at was just this one down here. Let me just go back to our streaming window so I can make sure it's still showing up. Yep. So if I drag this across, how cartoony does that just all look? Like those Cadians? Just, I don't know, they just look so cartoony. So basic. Like they really, really do look like cartoons. I can't put it any other way. It just looks like assets from a video game or something. So I'm not quite sure what they were going for there. But they've clearly painted up quite a few of them. And I mean, depending on the angle, I mean, here the arms seem to stretch out a teeny bit more, but it's just a bit of a mess. Like all the design language here, it's got some little chest weapons like a knight, and it's got this great big cannon in the middle, and it just doesn't seem to really know what it wants to be. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a mess, really. I think I would have liked to have seen it approached differently. But yeah, this Warlords thing is kind of cool. But as I say, I mean, who cares? I mean, we are now at the stage where, is this going to be the last of the 500 Worlds books? I mean, because they're announcing, I guarantee they're announcing the new edition next month at Adepticon. Absolutely guarantee it. And then it'll be up for pre-order like May, June. UKGE like last time, they'll have it on hand. It's just going to follow that release pattern again. That's all that's going to happen. And I'm just kind of like, well, have we really got time for doing much of this kind of thing? And is the 500 Worlds really achieving anything? One of them might be a bespoke character. They had one in a novel. That'd be kind of cool, like a bespoke demon engine. Yeah, something like 500 Worlds. Has it really done anything? Did the Ark of Omen really do it? And Vashta's just kind of turned up and just. But again, the start of this edition, Leviathan, Tyranids, never seen since. Previous edition, Silent King, Dumb Bupkiss. Fool me once, GW. Fool me twice. I don't know if you're going to get to fool me a third time. maybe. But yeah, obviously we're back to Armageddon. We also got these, and these are just starting to depress me, to be honest, dude. I thought that Underworlds was such a great opportunity to just touch those things that never got looked at anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? and now this is just literally just. I mean, what even is it? What even, you know? I mean, I just look at it and just, yikes. Dude, I mean, I used to grab every single one of these without fail, these Underworld boxes, and buy them just as a painting, you know, palette cleanser. Be like, I've painted 100 Space Marines or whatever. I want to paint something different, so I'm going to paint these. These are just underwhelming as fuck to me. I don't know how the new Underworlds is selling, but I can't imagine it's doing particularly well. What do you think, dude? 'Cause, I mean, these are just wow. I mean, these are almost like board game figures for me. There's just nothing to them. This guy cheesy. Look at that face.
Yeah, I've never gotten with the
Bone Reapers.
Yeah,
I was never a fan, dude.
Yeah. They're all too inanely grinning to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then this face on the leader one really reminds me of something. I just can't quite think what it is at the moment.
Yeah, I think
Necron's 2 hours after the stream finishes, but oh my god, it's that. But yeah,
I fucking shit. Yeah, I mean, Necrons get the balance right with like the unmoving skulls with the visage for heads and stuff. These guys,
yep.
No, not so much.
Not so much. Yeah. Yeah, really not feeling these guys at all. I mean, if you do, all well and good. That's your kind of, you know. I'm glad there's something there that is for you, absolutely. But I don't think these guys are ever going to work for me, and it's a real shame because I thought that Age of Sigmar was really knocking out some amazing stuff, but recently it seems to have dropped back quite a bit. They had this stage where they sort of fully embraced the old world aesthetic, where they did Cities of Sigmar, Curse City, all that kind of stuff. They even did some Witch Hunter models and all that kind of, you know, proper old school. And it seems that now that old world's out, they're like, right, we can leave all that there, and we're going to go back to silly town with Age of Sigmar because these just look awful, in my opinion.
Silly town.
Silly town. Let's not go to the mortal realms. Tis a silly place.
A silly place. It's only a model.
Yeah. So we got that. And another thing that I wanted to talk about just real quickly, guys, was this. Now, this, I don't know if you've seen this. God, what's she doing that for? That's not what I wanted at all. Right, hang on. John Blanche is on guard. Here we go. So this has been in development for a little while now, but it looks like it's finally ready to, go to the next stage of being sorted out. This is what Thomas has been working on now that Trench Crusade rules-wise is largely done. John Blanche has become the latest chap to do a game.
Okay.
So at the age of, I don't know, whatever the hell he is, 70-something now maybe, he's decided to do his own game. And it's basically a one-on-one duel game with 54mm models.
Interesting.
Which actually sounds fucking sweet. Do you remember, like, you didn't do Inquisitor back in the day, did you?
No.
That was like 54mm models, and you had 2 or 3 of them per warband, maybe 4 at an absolute tops.
I was on a break.
Okay, fair enough. And here we can see some of the stuff that's kind of coming out, and the Blanchitsuism of them, if that's a word, and if it isn't, I've just invented it. Is certainly something to be, sort of. To behold, I think they're just really. This is kind of as far away from GW as you can get, which is very ironic, given that John Blanche was obviously responsible for a great deal of the design input to early, GW, and maybe that's why everything is starting to look a little bit sterile, a little bit kind of cartoony and formulaic and kind of dull, because it's as far away from this kind of stuff as we can get. So if we have a look, we've got like this guy, and then there's these two. Father Christmas having a go against Pirate, Zombie. Yeah. The model Kickstarter was cool. Yeah, I did see those. This is like a whole game from what I tell. I don't know when it's coming out. It's going to be coming out. I presume it'll go Kickstarter. Thomas Purinen's working on it. I had no idea Apart from those couple of interviews I did, I don't really stay in touch. I mean, I deactivated that Facebook profile to get away from a load of bullshit, so he's not on my new one. So I'd have to reach out to him again if I wanted to. But yeah, I mean, this guy looks really cool. Look at that. That is not your Games Workshop model. That's pretty awesome. I like that. That is the kind of thing I would like to paint. So I know very, very, very little about the rules. Do I message Thomas and see if he's got time to have a chat about it, or do I see if he's got some rules I can have a look at? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to wait and see.
Go for it. I mean, you've got nothing to lose.
But I just wanted to present this to the grognards, really, because I didn't know for sure how many people were aware of this, because I wasn't until today. And I saw this and I went, oh my God, that's amazing. So yeah, this really kind of fits into that kind of Trench Crusade-y, grimdarky kind of look. And obviously, although we're about to discuss Trench Crusade in at length, I just want to make people aware of this. Go follow it if you get a chance. It's John Blanche's On Guard. They say if they get 1,000 followers, they will reveal another new character. I have absolutely no idea at this present stage what is being presented, what is being released, whether it's two-part starter set, whether you buy it, whether there's cards, whether there's book. I just don't know. And after what happened with Trench Crusade, I'm a little bit hesitant to jump in without looking into it, if you know what I mean. Obviously, we had no idea what would happen to Trench Crusade in those days. It just seemed like something cool, and I was prepared to champion it. So yeah, John Blanche's On Guard looks really, really, really sweet. In my opinion, I really think it looks good. So we've got that, and now it is time to talk about Trench Crusade, I think. So Matt, how much have you been keeping up with Trench Crusade?
Not a great deal. I know they had issues with one of their model manufacturing partners in the, like a third of their printers went down at once.
Okay.
Or some other stuff, and so it delayed a whole bunch of things. It had delayed a bunch of stuff, and I think they had to ship it out, and that was probably one of the main drivers that made them look into doing plastic models instead.
Yeah, but, I mean, certainly that'll be a bit of it. And I have got a video coming. Trench Crusade, I think we want. Here it is. So news, have they got the community license? Here we go. Right, so did you watch the video that I threw your way?
Not yet, no.
No, that's fine. In that case, don't bother. It's just Arch, good old Arch. He really does have a bugbear about Trench Crusade. He's not a fan of it at all. Now, I have to say here, 100% that we are not Trench Crusade haters at all. My video that's coming out is not presented from the point of view of a Trench Crusade hater, because I don't want to be that type of guy. But at the same time, I will freely admit that there have been big mistakes, in my opinion, made with the Trench Crusade guys. I think they've ballsed things up in quite a few ways, both in production, both in their approach towards the game and the ideology of the game. I wish them nothing but goodwill, but I think they've fucked up a fair few things that may well mean that Trench Crusade's in big trouble. Now, I don't know for sure, because I don't have any idea what their sales are. I mean, obviously, we know they did really well in the Kickstarter. We know that various outlets have been kind of flying the flag for Trench Crusade, and other outlets have been saying that Trench Crusade's got big problems. You've obviously, as I said, you've got your Trench Crusade haters, and then you've got your Trench Crusade champions, as it were, and we're neither. I just thought it was something cool that I wanted to present to the guys, and it's not gone the way that even I would have hoped that Trench Crusade would have gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at Trench Crusade, and you guys in the chat, if you're aware of anything or if you've got any feelings regarding this, then please do sound off and let us know, because I think one thing that it is fair to say regarding Trench Crusade is that what we ended up with is not entirely what we thought we were going to get. I think that's kind of fair. Now, I'm not going to say that it's a bait and switch on their part necessarily. They made a lot more money on the Kickstarter than they ever thought they would, and it's caused them to put all sorts of plans in place that turn it from being just a little skirmish game that was going to be trotted out there and be supported with some models to a full-blown thing that they're looking at, and potentially being able to supplant their livelihoods with and obviously, for example, Thomas writes for games. I think he writes for Sony. So Trench Crusade went from this little thing of a load of hype to this huge, great big thing, and I think it's kind of imploded in on itself a little bit, because obviously there was all these backers basically that have backed the campaign, including me, that were told, yep, this is going to be a 3D printing thing through and through and through. You're going to be able to print everything. You can use whatever models you want. You can do whatever you want with it. It's all good. And now, obviously, we're now in the situation where not only, and they were like, look, we're going to have this community license come out, and you're going to be able to, either make your own stuff and don't put any label, don't say shit of Trench Crusade, and it's fine. We don't care what you do, do whatever the hell you want. Just don't use our, our names and our IP and our logo and stuff. Or you can get this supported by Trench Crusade thing, where we'll allow you to use the logo and stuff. But no more than that. Obviously, you still can't make direct copies, but you can do stuff inspired by, and we'll kind of look at that and support that as we can. And then there's like a full creators license where we will look to obviously probably take a cut of the profits, or you pay for the license or something, as you would with a normal creators license. And this has obviously not been a thing for ages, and now it is a thing. So I thought we'd have a look at it. I've had zero interest in Trench Crusade. I would rather try Gaslands or something else. I hear great things about Gaslands. I really do. I hear from so many people that Gaslands is a load of fun. From what I understand of it, because there was a guy who played it when I was at War Cradle, you kind of get little Matchbox cars, and then you just put bits of plastic greebling on them and just make your own Mad Max roadsters and stuff and race around, that kind of stuff. It does sound like it's a load of fun, but I've not really looked into it. I mean, the idea of Trench Crusade was that it was meant to be, how can I put this, the alternative to 40k. So anybody who felt that 40k was getting a bit childish, a bit cartoonish, not really living up to what we were told it was going to, they were like, okay, Trench Crusade's here. And loads of people went, oh great, Trench Crusade, this isn't going to be all kind of I use the word woke, but it isn't going to be all modernised and all that kind of stuff. They're using a real religious setting, and people just went, great, we're going to go over there. The problem was that Discord was hosted by Mag28, and those guys are pretty damn liberal. So when all these people went over there going, yay, this isn't going to be woke, this is going to be great, this is going to be grimdark and totalitarian and all that, they went ban, 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 ban. Now, some of those people, absolutely, I believe 100% were tossers. There's probably a load of people on there who are just like, yeah, great, there's going to be no gays in this game, there's going to be no this, that, or whatever, Chad Heaven and all that kind of stuff. And they were booted. But there would also be a load of people who were just like, because they were like, oh, great, this is like a cool Christian setting, I can, be the good guy and all that kind of stuff. There was a load of people that were just like, look, what we're going to do then is we're going to boot them, because they don't necessarily align with what we want them to. Let me just get rid of this real quickly. And by that, I mean our faces. Blip. So we've got this Trench Crusade community license, and unfortunately this has come out at possibly the worst time for Trench Crusade, because there's been loads of attacks from certain YouTube channels. There's been loads of bad press with the quality of the models that's been going out. The rules are obviously out of date, but we knew that when we received the books. The books were delayed. There's some people that still haven't got their shit. Like, they put 500 quid into this and they've still not got their shit. And Trench Crusade are like, here's some plastic models, we're going to sell these instead. So there's a lot of stuff going around. There's it's been a bit of a disaster. Not a disaster on the scale of the Somme or anything like that. If we're talking it in kind of a World War I parlance or comparison, but certainly not the smooth launch that they wanted. They made 3 million on the Kickstarter, and I think that just kind of that they just went a bit carried away without getting the bottom stuff sorted. Like making sure that the person that you've hired to deliver your models does the fucking job, and that they don't turn up A, uncured or partly cured, which is dangerous, and B, all bent and twisted with the supports attached and all that bollocks. When you're paying the prices that they were charging, that's certainly not good enough. The other big problem that I think they had, 28 mag torpedo before having a chance with the VABs. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, like, I think 28 mag did so much damage to them. And the thing is, Trench Crusade did come out and say, right, they're not going to handle it anymore. We're going to take it on ourselves. And they can't turn around to Mag 28 and say, look, you've done a horrible job. You've alienated potentially half our audience. Go fuck yourselves. They can't do that as a company, right? So they gently took it off Mag 28. I get that. And they're doing their own thing. And I'm not a big Discord person or Reddit person or anything like that, so I don't know how it's going down. I mainly use Facebook, and I see some nice creative stuff posted, and I'm like, yes, awesome, that's great. But then I've also seen people already post their guys painted pink, and I'm just like, you do you, but I don't want that to ever make it into the setting. Do you know what I mean? So I think the other big problem they had, guys, they say that you themselves, once you destroy your brand because these people are hammers looking down. Yeah, I mean, part of that, yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is, I get it. So you've invented this alternate 40k setting. So an alternative to 40k. It's all grimdark. It's all religious. The Crusades went horribly wrong. Hell got opened. We're all trying to sort it out. You cannot then turn around and say that the Christians or the Pilgrims or whatever aren't the good guys. Or let me put it more in a better way. You cannot say that the heretics are not the bad guys.
Yeah.
This is literal hell. They are wandering around with little baby fetus kind of familiars on their belts. You can't say they're not the bad guys, and you did get all these people coming into Trench Crusade going, oh no, I'm heretics, but they're good guys, or they allow us to express ourselves freely, that angle of it, the kind of same thing. And the Christians are all the horrible ones because they're all being Puritan and not allowing people to express themselves. It's like this is really no. So you can't do that when you've invited real world, be it alternate world war or whatever comparisons. The heretics are the bad guys. There's no two ways about it. They are the really, 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 really bad guys. They are literally coming out of holes in hell. You don't get to turn around and say no, they're the good guys.
Unless people are okay aligning their political and sociological beliefs with demons from hell.
Exactly.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's intent. But
it's like if you're playing bolt action, yeah. So if somebody wants to play bolt action and they want to play the Nazis and they're like,
my Nazis just
cool,
misunderstood.
They got the cool tanks and everything like that. I'm like, yes, cool, no worries. Everybody likes to play the bad guys every now and again, but they are the bad guys.
Yeah.
There's no turning around. You can turn around and you can say, individual German soldiers maybe didn't know what they were getting into, and all the sadness of war in that level, but you can't turn around and say the Nazis are the good guys. You don't get to do that. And it's the same with
I think it's a fair statement to say that perhaps not all of the Wehrmacht were Nazis, but pretty much most of the Nazis that were fighting were Wehrmacht.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. There's a distinction. So if somebody was to play Nazis and then suddenly go, right, I'm not playing the bad guys, I'd be like, I don't think I necessarily want to play games with you anymore.
Yeah. I'm not sure you have the correct worldview.
Exactly. You have to have, and I don't subscribe to the fact that anybody has necessarily can't say that. You can say, freedom of speech is a thing, but I don't necessarily want to play games with you if you think Nazis were good guys. Simple as that. However, this has turned into the same kind of ideological shit show that 40k became. And unfortunately, I think it's largely due to the same people who have come in, and maybe they were proactively, because I know there's a couple of people on the Discord at the moment who were kind of, how can I put it, still anti, kind of right-wing things. And I'm not saying, because there are some people on the right who are complete cunts. And then some people on the left who are complete cunts. And then there's always people in the middle. It's like, please just let us play a game. Please just fuck off. So I get it. But
some of us in the middle cunts as well, so.
Absolutely. We can all be cunts. But, it seems to have just got this whole ideological thing. And if you're the good guys, you have to become evil to delete the slightly more evil, but it has to be current day anachronistic propaganda, then it has to be woke. Yeah, it's weird you're still a libertarian. I mean, I do feel that Factory Fortress kind of, and obviously this is all based on, sort of a background of art that Mike Francina's invented. I do think they built their own rod for their backs with this by not making this quite clear. It's okay to have good guys and bad guys.
You can pretty much tell just by going by the artwork.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell. Like this guy's got his head missing and blood runes coming out of his head while he's holding his severed head with a knife. And then this guy's got nothing on his feet because he's a pilgrim.
Yeah. So the first guy may not potentially have your best interest at heart, like.
But I mean, and there's other levels. Obviously, we know full well that this is a church that's got an extremely draconic, extremely kind of authoritarian and Puritan. We know all that, and obviously that's because hell's literally fucking forcing itself out of roughly where the Middle East is. We know all that. But the people that come in and try and say that's the good side, I'm like, bit weird. There's a lot of revisionist history surrounding the TC Discord bans. I saw about half a dozen people get banned for legit reasons, the rest for really having the wrong username. Yeah, and I totally agree. And I did ask Thomas about this at the time, and Thomas said, yeah, like, some of the stuff that he got told had happened was bad. And those people, from what he told me, and obviously I can only base what he told me on what they told him, I would not want you in my community if you were doing that kind of thing. But there's a hell of a lot of people who got caught up in the crossfire that didn't need to be, and I think it's really damaged Trench Crusade, which is a real shame. I mean, and that's just, if that was all it was, and then on the other side, it was like everything else had been absolutely seamless, like everybody got all their shit on time, all the models were perfect and all that kind of thing, then I think would be like, okay, well, but on top of that, you've got a load of extra kind of issues that have hit them. And now we've got this community license. And this has been heavily reworded from what we originally got, as it were. When Trench Crusade first came out and they first completed the Kickstarter, they said, like, okay, this is what our levels are. You go off and do your thing. However, if you jump onto eBay, you will see a fuck ton of people selling the Kickstarter stuff. Or that be it as a print to service or whatever. Now, when Trench Crusade first did the Kickstarter, they said very naively, would you please not share all of this digital information? And then it happened anyway, and that on top of the fact that the stuff's been going out looking like absolute shit, I think is a big part of their reason of their moving to plastics and partnering with Archon, and that stuff does look nice.
I know what they're getting.
Sorry?
Because I know what they're getting.
Yeah,
and they've
exactly.
got a proven track record.
Yeah, and this stuff will sell to an extent. Sell loads, I don't know, but at the end of the day, Factory Fortress haven't had to bear the cost of the mold making. They haven't had to bear the cost of the tooling or anything like that. That's obviously all been on like Archon, and Archon will charge them proportionately, which is probably why these stuff's coming out at GW money. Putting it quite, because it's not getting made in China where everything's super cheap. It's getting made in Poland. I think that's where Archon are.
Yeah, that explains it.
Pardon me, a little bit of libation there. So, we're now in a situation where Trench Crusade has entirely pivoted. We were on this, use whatever modules you like, hit bash whatever the fuck you like. Just go and have fun, have loads of fun. To this kind of, right, we've seen where this leads, so now we need to clamp down on what the hell's going on with this, They've looked on, I don't know, Etsy and they've seen the STLs being sold. They've looked on eBay. They've seen their models being sold. Now, I would say that your eBay seller's probably going to knock out better quality than some of the stuff we've been seeing coming out of this Kickstarter. So, maybe you fuck yourself over there by not doing a decent enough job. But that's going to be part and parcel of it. Just played a slightly better Weird War 1 game, A War Transformed. Well, that kind of sounds like fun. I backed both Kickstarters for Trench Crusade. Yeah, because it was the first one, wasn't they? They were both bad. Okay. The original resin models were that bad, they sent me 2 lots. The main Kickstarter STLs were incredibly bad. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff I was seeing, because I know they did one originally, which is just based off Mike's artworks. There's like a Tank Communicant, a Pilgrim, and the Observer, I think it was, if I remember correctly. I didn't know those models were bad. I did not know those models were bad. Baby Eaters. What, like the baby eating Bishop of Bath and Wells? I'm a colossal pervert. Animal, vegetable, or mineral, I'll do anything to anything.
Bend over, Blackadder. Time.
So we've now got this community license, and this community license more or less leads as a fairly stringent IP statement rather than the kind of like, we want to get you on board kind of thing that it used to. All Factory Fortress would have had to do is look at the existing market of, for all 5. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the second they put that up there, I was just like, ain't happening. And that's why GW will never do STLs. Unless they find a way to make them, print them once and destroy, like a Mission Impossible mission statement. This STL will self-destruct after a successful print. Then they never will. They never will. So they've said, we have no issues with other creators making money off Trench Crusade. We love all the crazy stuff our community comes up with, and honestly, we find it cool that our creation can support them. However, this cannot be to the detriment of Factory Fortress, our team, and their livelihoods. So, in the UK, basically, if you do not defend your IP, you lose it. So it is a bit tricky. In the UK, you do have to be seen under copyright law. You have to be seen to be defending your IP. If you don't defend it, and then something comes up, the defendant can basically go, well, they didn't defend it, so it's like squatters. It's like they weren't in their house, so I took it, kind of thing. However, this is where Trench Crusade are also going to come up with another problem, because their setting is incredibly generic. It's basically religious World War One. It's very, very hard to copyright that. It's like Bolt Action, for example. They just make a World War II war game. You can't copyright it. If somebody wants to go and copy, print off their own Panzers and Shermans and British paratroopers, there is literally fuck all that Warlord can do about it. Literally nothing they can do. And Trench Crusade are going to largely find themselves in a similar position, unfortunately, because where do you draw the line on religious World War One? You don't have any particularly copyrightable symbology that I'm aware of. There's certainly a few looks that you can claim that, are the Trench Crusade, like the heavy mech infantry, for example. They're quite distinctive. But there's an awful lot of the stuff in there that's just based off of history and tied in with a load of religious iconography. It's very hard to IP that. And that's why they've got this kind of AI version of IP infringement going on. Apparently the same one that Games Workshop used to use, which flagged up Warhammer, but it was a guy making Battletech mechs. Because there's one called Warhammer. So you can actually make STLs that are locked to a certain amount of runs now. Now that's interesting, Shakai, and can I just ask, how does that work with failed prints? Do you just have to take it and hope that it works, or... Because obviously there's no guarantee that something will print. I mean, you can structure something so that it's support it so that it should print. But we know, for example, that there are Trench Crusade models that aren't properly fixed. They've still got little gaps in them where resin catches up. Yeah, I just watched North's video before this started, actually, on like double speed, because it was about that Faster Than Light game, wasn't it? And they were like, oh, they've got curved shoulder pads with metal rims. That's ours. And I'm like, is it though? And yeah, I basically think that what Trench Crusade has decided to do is too generic, which is why we're starting to see these plastics come out and look at the difference. And we've got wings and stuff like that. Because if I can make Trench Crusade looking stuff out of a load of War Games Atlantic models, which is what I've done, you're not really going to be able to enforce that in a copyright point of view. Yeah, I watched Archer's video. Prussians, Germans, yeah. I mean, Papascal, I think it was Papascal. He's done a load of stuff. He's done like aliens and stuff like that, and it's all close to, but not the same as their IP kind of thing. And they pulled him up on his model, which is just it is like a Temu version of the artwork, but it's the artwork is so generic that it's very hard to copyright it. What are you copyrighting? Knight with shield with wings on it, kind of thing. I mean, you can't. You can copyright icons. You can copyright words, for example, which is why GW stopped using Space Marine so much. That's why you got Adeptus Astartes and Primaris. But it's very hard to copyright a look. Very hard to copyright a look. And that's where so much of this is falling in. Lightyear working, the file format is there, but they're not in circulation until they now things down for the exact reason. She said, yeah, exactly. That's the way I would feel it a bit weird. You can report your print quality back to Lightyear, but obviously lie too. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, because like, if you ever look at something like GW entering the race, and they're like, okay, you buy this file, you get to print it once. What's to stop you from saying it was a failed print? You know. Has anyone here purchased and opened any of the Trench Crusade plastic bottle kits? No, I picked one up in Element and it was 35 quid. And I'll tell you the reason I didn't, Market Wood 152, is because it's like that thick. The box is like that thick and it's 35 quid. It's clearly one sprue. So I was just like, nah, you know what? Maybe I'll get round to it at some point. But, you know, the reports I've seen say that it's good. And Archon are good. There's no two ways about it. Considering that company used to be Prodos and used to not be able to navigate their way out of a wet paper bag, they're doing good stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah, their AVP models were great.
They were. Their models are brilliant. It's just their ability to run a business and to write a game was less than. But yeah, no, it's seriously, it's a really thin box. Really thin box. I couldn't believe it when I picked it up. It's blatantly one sprue of models at GW prices. You know, I mean, and to be fair, I mean, kind of that's the same as Malifaux used to be. You know, because you only needed that many models, and maybe if you spend your 35 quid and you got your full war band, you're happy with that. But I was just like, whoa, that's is that wafa fiend. But no, I mean they look fine. What I've seen of the models, they look okay. But as you say, Kevin, it's not unique enough. There's not really much they can do to copyright it, and they just need to kind of accept that. And you certainly can't. You can't copyright Heretic Legion and stuff like that. You're going to unless you can come up with kind of your own terms for these things, and you either have to accept that and just get on with it and make what you can make and get what you can get, or you have to change your setting. It's very, very simple. They hit a couple of people with empty MCAs that were making minis for the Last War, which has an almost identical setting and predates Trench Crusade by a couple of years. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Religious World War, it's not an impossible. I still think that's probably part of the reason why you don't see Valhallans, because how the hell can they're just great coat troopers. Great coat? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, there's no troopers like Russian dudes with big coats.
You did it. Well done.
Yeah, just about. And you know, like the Talon Desert Raiders, they're just Lawrence of Arabia kind of desert fighters. It's so hard. You know, Praetorians are just the guys from Zulus. Forget any kind of problematic function or anything like that. You cannot copyright it. You know, there's nothing to stop the Perrys, for example, knocking some out and saying, right, there you go, just use those and just put las guns on them or something, you know. Margaret, I've got a video coming out. It's recorded. It needs editing and it needs all stuff putting in it. And it's like there, but I will get around to it. Which goes through the entire Trench Crusade thing from start to finish, and just puts my opinion on it, because I wanted to see it do well. I was very excited, but I do genuinely feel that they have fucked it up, putting it bluntly. They're always going to have a community and they're always going to have the people and stuff like that, but they are not going to be the next big thing like people thought they might be. I just don't think it's going to happen now. I really don't. And I did see a stage where I saw them dragging a load of people away from 40k. Even the oversized stuff in the background. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, is like, as I say, it's generic. They've used world references, like historical references and stuff, and that's just going to make it really difficult. And either you make your models very, very unique, in which case you run the risk of losing that flavour, or, it's like, even when they did the Persian looking chaps, I can't remember what their names are now. Can you remember that?
Nope.
I don't know, the Persian looking guys. It was all still very kind of generic to Persian history and that design language. You can't copyright it. You can't turn around and say, right, I'm copyrighting these Persian statues from 1500 years ago or whatever, because it ain't going to work. So,
the Sultanate.
They're going to struggle. And also, on top of that, there's an awful lot of people that have beat them to the punch on various things. So, for example, there was somebody that came out and said, or not come out and said, but they came out and made like Children of Yggdrasil or something like that. And it's basically Norse Viking Trench Crusade models. And they look ace. I'm like, yeah, they look really cool. What happens when Trench Crusade decides to tackle Scandinavia? These guys have got there first, So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't agree with people ripping off their IP, selling their models and all that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, designers put the work in, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, man, they fucked up with the delivery of this Kickstarter. Like, the stuff that should not have gone out. You cannot send out uncured models. What the fuck are you doing? So obviously the oversight wasn't there or something, and they've messed up in various ways, and I think they've done serious damage to Trench Crusade. Anyway, I'm going to drink for a little bit, Matt, and I want to get your ideas.
I don't have any ideas. I didn't follow most of the Trench Crusade stuff. It's like I backed the Kickstarter. I got my models. I didn't order that many. I just had like a squad of like trench pilgrims and stuff. I got my rulebook, so I'm like, yeah, I'm good. For me, they delivered what they said it would.
So Sultanate, that was it. Yeah, Sultanate. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to people like me who are just like, I wanted the stuff, I got the stuff, we're like, whatever. Have your dramas. We're still going to play the game if we feel like it when we put our models together and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean, I thought the rules looked fun. Fairly solid. I don't know about balance. I've not looked into any of that stuff yet, but it reminded me of Mordheim. If you want to do something cinematic, like leap off of a building and try and dive on somebody with some knives, you can do it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like fun. It sounds like less, more fun than the very, the very sort of square game that is GW at the moment. I like something cinematic. I like to have these cooler moments happen in games.
I mean, Thomas has got a good history of doing good games. Mm-hmm. So that it was going to have a fairly decent rule set was a given.
Well, they've got Andy in, and is Jervis doing that one or not?
I'm not sure.
I know Jervis just did a new game for Dreadball. I'm going to say it's Dreadball. The Mantic Blood Bowl substitution that's coming soon. They also mix steampunk with dieselpunk too much, but somehow it looks plain and boring. I mean, I don't know. I really like the look of their models. I really like the look of Mike's artwork. I think it looks really
the
cool.
artwork was amazing.
It reminds me of Bestarium. It's so far removed from GW that I can't help but like it. But in the same way that because it was Alien versus Predator, yeah. So there was an Alien versus Predator Kickstarter. I backed it to the hilt, absolute to the hilt. I was in for like probably near $1,000 in total. By the time I got all my shit, and everybody else had been able to get all theirs before me, and all that kind of stuff, I didn't give a fuck. I played one game, the disc was broken to hell, and I just went, you know what? And I've just been slowly selling off and keeping a little bit like, oh, these Alien models are really nice, I'll keep those, I'll do something with those one days. I've just been selling off all of my Alien versus Predator stuff over the years because it soured me on it. And I've got to be honest, Trench Crusader's kind of done the same thing. You know, I was like, oh, cool, and I made up my war bands, and I made all these models out of War Games Atlantic and 3D printed pieces. Pure creativity, just like they said they were enjoying. And now I'm kind of soured on it, unfortunately. I thought I look at War Transformed. Oh, Lovecraft, nice. Lovecraft and paganism, cool. I have to have a look. Treasure Crusader was an art project I got a hand. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I still think they should have just kept things small and just developed that you know, sort of 6 war bands and the setting, and not gone absolutely mad, basically. I think now that it's just a bit of a mess, unfortunately, and maybe they should have just funded plastics all along or something. I don't know. I mean, you know, the 3D printed stuff does look nice, and there is stuff there that they wouldn't be able to do in plastics, but at the same time, there's stuff there that are like, okay, we can physically or technically make this out of 3D printed resin, but if you look at that guy who's got the chains hanging all over him and stuff, you're just asking for that to break. Nightmare to print. Nightmare. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a sad one. I did want to talk about Treasure Crusade because this video is taking like ages to put out. Yeah, I just want to take that on, really, and put our thoughts about it. We're not absolutely anti Trench Crusade here, but I'm soured on it a little bit. I am just sort of like, unfortunately, there's some kind of issues I think they've had, and they'll all be detailed in my video, which will be out at some point. Right, let's talk about something else, Matt. Let's talk about Henry Cavill on the Amazon show.
Oh yeah, we had a brief chat about that earlier in the week, didn't we? Earlier in the week. It's fucking Monday. Last week.
Yeah. So obviously the rumours are, and I'm not inclined to believe these rumours because the same place has been spouting out stuff about Henry Cavill non-stop, and I've got a feeling that it's just an AI bot or something. There would have been better if going down like last Blanche Crusade, just a bunch of minis that were variations on the theme. The Gangbusters and the menu was quite too. Yeah, I saw that. I did like that. Yeah, I think they let the money go to the heads and thought they were getting something really good, really big. Yeah, it felt like a lot of tracing going on with Christian icons. Yeah, I mean, it was just World War One, but very religious. I mean, that's it. I mean, that was it. I mean, that's just fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. I just kind of feel like, I don't know. Maybe it'll still be some great success, but I think a lot of people soured on it. Anyway, Cavill. Yeah, so there's this rumour saying that he was staying by until like 4 o'clock in the morning, correcting law and all that kind of stuff. I personally believe that's just like an AI bot, because that same page has been churning out loads of stuff about it all the time and saying, like, you know, various things regarding inconsistencies and stuff like that. My main concern, Matt, is it's now been 3 years and we have seen nothing.
I mean, it takes a while.
It does,
to get
but
shit done properly.
Concept art, something. I mean,
don't need concept art. You've already got 40k. Just use stuff from that.
Like,
I mean,
I'm not expecting a full trailer or anything like that, but some previses. I mean,
yeah, and like a synopsis would be cool. But
anything.
I'm assuming we'll just get that later on.
I mean, in the last report, so in the last yearly report that GW put out, they threw the production company under the bus. They basically said it's nothing to do with us.
Well, that's kind of smart, because when they fuck it up, Games Workshop will just say, well, we had no part in that.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think a live action show was the way to go.
Well, they do their own animated stuff, so they probably do want to compete with that.
Yeah, but that's the way I would have gone. I would have done an animated show. I would have done an animated show all day long. I would not have done this as live action. I don't see, definitely, without the biggest of budgets, how it can ever possibly live up to 40k.
Well, it's two of the biggest companies in their sectors in the world doing a thing. I'm sure the budget won't be a problem.
I mean, you look at something like Fallout, for example. That is barely a smidge of what 40k would be like. And Fallout ain't great. The writing's awful.
Yeah, that's my main concern. Is that like modern TV shows are not known for having great writing for the most part, especially on fucking Amazon. Like, I mean, look at Rings of Power.
I'd
And
rather
then you've got
not.
Wheel of. I know. We will not actually look at it, but we know how it went.
Yeah, no, you're right. Well, I mean, Wheel of Time, Rings of Power, they've all just.
Wheel of Time I know of because I watched the first season and I didn't mind it. But then, unlike my wife who has all of the books, I've never read them,
Oh.
so I had no comparison for it. So I just watched it and was just like, that was okay.
And what did wifey say?
Uh, well, she married me, so I'm not too sure she's got the best judgment anyway. But we watched Rings of Power, and I was like, "What the fuck is all this shit? Half of this stuff is complete nonsense."
Oh, yeah,
For instance, Galadriel gets to Numenor, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I'm not married," and I'm like, "You 100% are fucking married at this point, lady. You're married to Cerimbor, I think it is. You can literally see him sitting next to her when you watch the films, and they go to Lothlorien. He's sitting right there." Yeah, and it was just really shitty fan fiction,
Yeah,
and
it
I
was.
don't want
It was like that
UK
kind of.
shows.
The same's happened with Star Trek. Unfortunately, it's all about the shippers, and they're like, "Oh, Gladrion or Sal Radriel or whatever." You know, it's just about who's hooking up with who, and it's the same with Star Trek Academy. It's like, don't fucking care. Give me a story, please. Give me a story. Give me some heroes. Give me some, peril. Give me just a little bit of peril.
Just give me something to get my teeth into that I care
Yeah,
about.
exactly. I don't care who's banging who. I really don't.
As long as it's not fancy visuals and shitty writing, because that's
yeah.
all most modern TV shows seem to be. As I've said before, I'm a massive fan of The Expanse. The books are great. The TV show was probably as good as it could be. And that is how you write stuff properly. If you want a diverse cast, you put in a diverse cast and you make nothing of it. You just carry on.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way. I mean, like, what's her name? She was gay, wasn't
Sarala?
she?
Oh,
no, the minister dude. He was gay.
Are you thinking of?
There
was a bunch. Yeah, there was a bunch of homosexual people in it.
And it never made a big thing out of it. It was never like, oh, this is the world's first gay this, or this is the world's gay. It's just they were gay. Cool, okay.
They weren't the center of any story.
Fair enough.
Exactly. They weren't the center of any stories or anything like that. That wasn't why you watch it. And that's the way you do that sort of thing. If you want to normalize something and have it be accepted, you just integrate it into something and just don't make it a thing. You put it in there and treat it as it's normal. And that's exactly what The Expanse did. Like, Jim Holden came from a weird family that had multiple parents. And it's just the way his family was. No one gave a shit. Belter crews tend to have sex with each other because they're out in space on the same ship for a long time, and that's kind of what they do.
Look at something like
no one cares.
Joe Haldeman's Forever Free, everybody's basically gay in that way in the future and stuff, because once you take procreation out of it, it kind of just like, kind of make more sense kind of thing. But I mean, it's the way that it's just held up as like this is the most important thing. Look how it's a Klingon in a skirt and he's gay and he doesn't like fighting and he likes bird watching. I'm like, one of these things is fine. All of these things are not fine.
Yeah, it's just bullshit.
It's like, his name's Jay Den.
Yeah, and my concern is like the 40k thing. It's going to go the same way, and it's going to be a cross between that and perhaps The Witcher, with Mr. Cavill sort of trying to hold back a tide of nonsense as he kind of, because he's an executive producer in this, so he's kind of like, no, what I say goes. And the thing is, like, they put the article out, and it's kind of like him staying until 4 a.m. correcting stuff and making sure it's okay. To which, despite what some of our associates on Facebook may disagree with, I basically just said, get fucking better writers that know what they're writing about.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're, let's face it, GW get exactly one shot at this. One. That's it. If this fails, there ain't going to be another one.
You only get one chance to make a first impression. And that's what it will be to most people.
Anybody on board that writing team who does not know 40k inside out.
Exactly. It's bullshit to even consider it. I mean, I get that people are probably contracted to do X shows for Amazon and they have to try and get these people on. But I mean, let's face it, right? if you've got a team of writers, not just
Hmm.
two people or whatever, if you've got a team and one producer has to stay up until stupid o'clock correcting the stuff that they're doing, then one, you educate the fucking team, and if that means putting in research in their free time to get shit done, then they fucking do it. Like, you are writing for a TV show for one of the world's biggest IPs in sci-fi on what is probably one of the world's biggest streaming services. There's no fucking excuse not to put your fucking arse in gear,
Mm.
research stuff so you know what's what, and do a good job. Unless you don't want to, in
Yeah.
which case you should be on the fucking team. Go off and get another fucking
And I
job.
guarantee it's only a matter of time before we start getting the kind of, oh, Henry Cavill's a tyrant to work under stories and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff. Whereas the guy literally just wants it to be right. He's a fan
yeah.
like us. Do you know what I
And it's
mean?
like, I ain't being funny. You need it to be as close to the source material as you can get it right. Because the thing is, there's a whole load of hubris in this, and people just fuck it up because they go, "Oh, we're going to use this IP, and we're going to get a whole load of new fans on board, and it's going to be a win-win for everyone." And what they end up doing is fucking up the story, cleaving away from the source material, and they alienate the fans that they need to get on board, which are the original fans of the thing in the first place. You need to get them on board first, and they go, "This is fucking awesome. You guys need to watch it." And then you carry on with that while still sticking as much as you can to the source material.
Hmm.
Like Game of Thrones did that right, in that the show stuck to the books from as I remember them pretty closely.
Yeah,
And
it's skipped a couple of storylines here and there, but I mean there
yeah,
are a
but
lot, like Lady Stoneheart, for
you,
example. But
yeah,
there's a lot of storylines in Game of Thrones that you could cut.
exactly, and you have to move stuff around for budgetary reasons. So, like for instance, in I think in one of the Game of Thrones books, it kind of starts some other characters off on a story arc, and people go to a different location. And if you're going to include that in a series, then you need a whole fucking load of budget dedicated to a new location. You have to send like units there to do preliminary shooting and all sorts of shit. So they left it out until the next season and then introduced it as a new location because obviously they've got a budget for a new season and they can use it for that. And that's a change that you have to make, and I get it.
Mm.
But what shows up Game of Thrones quite blatantly, despite what my wife says against about the last season, because she didn't mind it, and that was when I was kind of wondering what I'd done. Uh, no offense, wife, not that you listen to this anyway. Um, is that when you run out of books, it fucking shows,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
all went to shit really
Oh
fast,
god,
and
yeah.
it
I
was
mean, yeah.
and it was
It was like overnight. Like you could just see
yeah,
the exact
it
point
was
they ran out. Yeah.
it was probably the most disappointing end to what was basically a phenomenon on TV,
Well,
and it
I
was
knew we were in trouble the second the dragons teleported north of the wall to rescue.
yeah,
I was just like, we're
that was the
fucked.
previous season. You can see some precursors there and some weird shit. Like they've gone north of the wall. It's taken them like a week or two to get to where they are. They get surrounded by fucking whites and undead. Gendry goes, "I will run back and get help." Off it goes, and I'm like, mate, it took you like a fucking week and a bit to get where you are now. Even with you running with no sleep, how long do you think you're going to get back? And then get friends back there to help out. Everyone's a fucking goner. Um, and yeah, and we just don't want that to happen to 40k. Like,
Yeah.
get people in who know what the fuck they're doing. There's no shortage of good writers who know their Warhammer 40,000.
Hmm. I mean,
There's
the
not,
thing is again, it's that whole kind of what kind of creative do you want for it? So, do you want the creative that's going to stick to the lore and just the lore and going to give us something that's very lore based? Do you want the person that's trying to deliver captivating TV? Because the two things are not the same.
Mm.
Or do you have the kind of person who's just worried about what kind of representation they can squeeze into it and what the optics are going to look like
and that is a problem.
fuck it all up, you know? So
Yeah.
this is the kind of the metrics by which it will be judged. And let's put it this way: do you think we're going to see it?
Yeah, I reckon. I reckon. Um, I mean, it's got the Cavill in it, and
Hmm.
that alone will attract people to the thing. Amazon have the money to get it done.
Hmm.
Games Workshop also have the money to get it done. Although how those two things interact for the TV show, I've got no idea. Um, and there's certainly a fan base already in place for the thing. like, so they don't even have to try and attract new people. It's a bit of a no-brainer. They just need to do it right. And based on, current fucking TV show writing, I am honestly 50-50 as to whether that can even be done.
I mean, because
Like,
you look at things like The Witcher, which is unwatchable. It's just
I
unwatchable
didn't
now.
mind it. I didn't mind it. Like, I've not read that far in the books.
It's just like
So
we'll take Geralt and we will put him all the way over here, and now we have this diverse group of girl bosses, and it's going to be all about them instead. And I was just like, nope.
did you watch the most recent series?
No, I tapped out at halfway, like about 3 or 4 episodes into series 3. I was just like, nah, I'm done.
No, fair enough. They kind of evened that out.
Oh, okay.
In the current one, so there's Geralt and his crew trying to find Ciri, and then there's the ladies versus Vilderforts.
Because again, obviously, you also had like all of the race swapping and adversity, and everywhere just looks the same, which is one of the things that I was actually really pleased about. With I don't know if you guys have been watching it. No, we won't see it till Henry's contract ends. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Matt is such a normie. You're such a normie, Matt. I don't know if you've been watching Sword of Seven Kingdoms, but that's actually very good.
It's very good. I've thoroughly enjoyed all 3 episodes of it. It's fucking great. And there's such a wry sense of humour that runs through the whole thing. I'm kind of like, who did this? I want them to do more TV. Yeah. It's fucking great.
Very, very, very refreshing to also not have to have a medieval fantasy world that doesn't look like downtown London, for example.
Yeah,
it's got some representation in it, which is fine. These people exist. There's no problem at all. But it doesn't need to be the kind of melting pot exact ratios. It's like, again, when I think they did it with Wheel of Time, Rings of Power, and one other fantasy show, and they showed an ensemble from all 3 of them, and all 3 of them were interchangeable.
Yeah. It's a nonsense.
Absolutely interchangeable. Like, it's just the same makeup. Yeah. So so from that perspective, I mean, I hope this is good.
I'm not sure that I'm not sure that I'm a normie that appreciates. I'm not sure that I'm a normie that appreciates key jingling. I think I'm just reasonable.
Matt is a much more reasoned person than me.
It's true.
I am far more judgmental, and the autism means that I would nearly always find a fault in anything. There is very little that I think is perfect. But that's why we work, because then we get on and we have slightly different perspectives, which I think is very, very valuable for Grumpy Goldeneye Gaming. Otherwise you just get an echo chamber and it's kind of boring. I need somebody to maybe make me take a second look at things and go, no, I still think it's shit, but I appreciate the fact that you think a different way, or kind of thing.
I can be very grumpy in real life as well.
The thing, I mean, with the 40K show, I don't know, I imagine there's all sorts of reasons they can't do it, but I'd have like a production diary running, or some behind, or like a photo of some scripts or something, just because it just feels like this kind of thing that's just going to fade and get forgotten about. Like the new Star Wars Rey movie. How's that going, huh? Huh?
The what?
Exactly. Announced with a load of fanfare 2 years ago. If they made as good a job of more time releases as they did with Necromunda, I'd be all over that. Yeah, well, yeah, if. That's the big if, isn't it?
Necromunda is solid. Very good.
It's like Space Hulk. As much as I'd love to see them get Space Hulk out, would they wreck it? Easily entertain Matt. Yeah, I can confirm that Matt is fairly easily pleased when it comes to entertainment.
I am actually not very easily pleased when it comes to entertainment. I am still quite picky with it. I watched Love Island once because someone I knew was in it.
And he's never living it down.
I'll freely admit that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see them do Space Hulk, Battlefleet Gothic, and Mordheim. But
I want to see a new Space Hulk with hybrids back in it.
I don't know if I trust them, guys. I honestly don't think this TV series will ever see the light of day. I'm starting to think so. I mean, 3 years of pre-production is a long time, and the thing is, all the time GW just keeps marching forward. We're now on to 11th, which is going to obviously be around Armageddon for 5 minutes before they think of something else and forget about it. And I'm like, well, if we do see this TV show, will this TV show come out before I hit 50?
Well, you've only got 1 year to go, so probably
Shut
not.
up. It's more than that, you bastard. But, you know, genuinely, I'm like, what are we going to get? What are we going to get? Drop the Warhammer Underworlds, put half the effort into Mordheim you did Necromunda. And yeah, I mean, is Mordheim, let's have a quick, is Mordheim too grimdark now?
Who actually did the reboot of Necromunda? It wasn't James Hewitt, was
It was
it?
James Hewitt.
Fucking hell, they're fucked. They never should have got rid of him. He's done all their best games.
Didn't pay him enough. He's off at War Cradle now. There's a lot of XGW people at War Cradle.
Apparently not. Going by the interview that I pointed out to you the other week.
What, has he left?
Well, he didn't say he was there at all. He's just doing other stuff.
Oh, because I think his Mrs. Sophie's still head of their whatever. I don't pay attention to War Cradle because they don't make anything I want at the moment, putting it bluntly. I don't care about battleships. I like battleships, but I don't like weird World War battleships and what they're doing with dystopian whatever. I don't like Cowboys and Indians. I will have a look at Firestorm Armada when it comes out, but they started development on that when I worked for the company, and you know they've only recently picked it up again. So they just don't make anything I'm interested in. So therefore, I don't really pay attention to them. But I thought he was still there. Maybe they only got him in just to do Dystopian Wars 3rd edition.
Oh, according to LinkedIn, he is still there, but in an interview,
we discussed 11th Orc rumours. No, we haven't. Did you see Valrak's video about orcs?
No, I try not to listen to him. He sounds too funny.
He sounds too funny.
And I don't care about orcs either. So
no, I mean, so the rumour is that we're going to get a new war track, a new walking gun, new boys, which are badly needed, to be fair.
A walking gun?
Yeah, like it's how he described it. What can I say? So it's not a death dread. It's like a gun that walks.
Doesn't sound very orky.
It sounds pretty orky to me.
I would have felt that anything that's got legs is going to have spiky bits and saws and whatnot on it to smash stuff up, not necessarily to walk around shooting things.
Maybe it only goes sideways like a crab.
No, maybe it can scuttle left, scuttle right, and then rah.
Yeah. And like 5 HQs and stuff. I mean, the amount of HQs that are rumoured in this box alone makes me wonder if we're going back to a kind of hero hammer cut type thing. You know, where it's character heavy, because obviously they can charge more money for characters, whether they do them individually or whether they do them as a box set of like 5 characters for 60 quid or whatever. But yeah, I am kind of like, with the orcs, it's going to depend if Kirsty likes them. If she likes them, then maybe we'll get the new box set.
She'll like them. She's a nurse.
If not, then maybe I'll pick up a couple of space. I mean, when it came to Skaven Tide, Kirsty didn't care about the rats for a change, which was quite, because she likes rats. We've got rats. And I just picked up a few of the nice Stormcast Eternals from eBay or whatever. But yeah, with 11th edition, I mean, the thing with 11th edition is just I want to see something about rules before I even think about it. I just if it's 10th all over again, I don't care. At the absolute minimum, war gear and flexible squad sizes have got to come back. If I can't have fun army building, why am I going to bother?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, blocks of models with no war gear does not appeal to me in any way whatsoever. No. And neither does the simplified rule set. Fuck it.
Or whatever's going on, like Catan spam apparently is the thing at the moment. Take all 3 Catan in one army list with like a couple of Necron warriors or whatever. I'm just like, just that doesn't interest me. I'm interested in the narrative and the lore.
I mean, to be fair, I think you could do that anyway.
I'm saying you can. I'm just saying that's the new hotness at the moment, and I don't care what the new hotness is. Because obviously, a cynical person like me would say that the reason that GW are so ready with bringing out patches, updates, Minotaurium updates, and all that kind of stuff isn't because they want the game to be as balanced as possible, but by doing that, they can make stuff as good or as bad as they need it to.
Encourage people to buy more new stuff.
Encourage people to buy it. It's as simple as that. It's just formations all over again. That's all it is. Like I said, when they brought out the Destroyer Start Collecting set, it's just formations, just hidden under detachments. That's all it is. So we will take on. I think we will do an 11th stream at some point. I'll collate all the rumours we've got, because there's loads of Space Marine rumours as well. Apparently, it's not it's not tactical squads we're getting back. It's still Primaris intercessors, but they're now going to be made up of loads of like different armor marks. So I think it's going to be like like the Red Corsair set was. So have to wait and see, basically. They're left with 40k now. I'll get the odd mini for paint project or kit bashing, but the rules are beyond hope. I mean, I kind of feel like they can be saved. I just don't think GW will. They want their esport. It's as simple as that. They want their esport. They want. I can't remember who it was. It might have even been Mordian Glory, but somebody said that the UK is now the 3rd biggest market for GW.
Well, I think Australia is pretty given that they're not in 2 above us.
America obviously first, and America loves their competitive shit, so I think they're just going to keep going down that way.
Unfortunate.
There's actually underwhelming. Yeah, I mean, Alan Bligh is such a loss. That guy really got exactly what people wanted out of Warhammer 40,000, and we are moving very far away from that. That kind of Jane's War historical army style book. If you change the models around and change the parlances around in the text, you basically had a historical reading army book, campaign book type thing. That's what Imperial Armour was, and we've moved very far away from that. I don't think the Horus Heresy ever recovered from Alan Bligh's loss. I generally don't. I still like what we've got now. Don't get me wrong; it's better than 40k.
Still better than 40k.
But I don't think it really recovered from him. And more than that, I'm gutted that he didn't get to see his version finished. He didn't get to finish Black Books and that kind of stuff. That sucks. But yeah, we'll do an 11th edition stream at some point. Probably next month, I reckon. Because Adepticon's like 25th of March ish.
American, I've no idea.
So we'll do it like before that, a couple of weeks. Because obviously all that. I mean, that's going to be the cinematic trailer and everything. 30k was historical. Yeah, it was a historical game, and it felt like it. Like the Imperial Armour books, the Black Books, they all felt like historical tones.
Yeah, by definition, it's a historical game.
Yeah,
it's
but I mean, they were presented in that way. They don't necessarily feel that way to me anymore.
No,
they feel like they're about a current event.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They've changed the viewpoint.
Yeah, the viewpoint has changed. It used to be we're looking back at this thing. Now it's this thing that's going on.
I'd have to reread them to notice that.
So, yeah, I mean, I know, but I still prefer the aesthetics of the Horus Heresy by far, which is why I bought the new Scutari box and the drone and all that kind of stuff. For me, it's 10 times better than the way 40k is going. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, now and again, 40k mocks out the odd model, and I'm like, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, and maybe I'll buy it. I bought the Sanctifiers, and I bought the... There was another 40k model, I can't remember what it was. I thought it was quite nice, so I bought it. But...
Was it the new Necron Destroyer dude? I know you like that one.
No,
I might get it.
He's crap. You'll get him, and then you'll find Zerak.
What?
Is it Zerak? We're missing?
What?
You're Zerak. Stop acting like a granddad.
Are you okay?
Yeah, Zerak the he used to be like a little spider guy. Now he's a big spider guy with a staff. And he was...
I want to say Trollzin, but that's not him. He's the guy that steals people. Yeah. The other chap. He's around somewhere. I don't know where the fuck he is.
He's been missing for years now. It's like Toy Story. He's often going and doing stuff. The new Black Books are not patching the old ones. No, I memean, yeah, the old ones were just another level. They really were. They were just they're incredible tones. They've all got them all. They've got them all in Bugman's, and every time I go in Bugman's, I sort of grab one while I'm waiting for my food or whatever. I read through one of those. That was a different time. That was peak. We'll have to see what GW does with regards to, what we get now. And like Matt said so many times, we get the best models now, but we get some of the worst rules, and it sucks.
For 40k, so frustrating.
It is, but it might all change for 11th. But till GW show me they've changed, they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt, as far as I'm concerned.
They won't change it. It'll just be worse.
Cool. Okay, Matt. Well, I think we've tackled what we need to tackle tonight. I think we'll wrap it up there, so we can get a bit of PC gaming in. Unless you're going to force it.
Yeah. You know what? I absolutely fixed my hull divers too. It no longer crashes or stutters.
Well, hey, you can give that a go. That sounds like fun. So, thank you very much for tuning in, Grognard. As always, it's been a pleasure. Do me a favour, chuck a like on the stream if you liked it. I have no idea if the algorithm cares, but it looks nice. So, you know, yay.
We care.
Yeah, exactly. So, until next time, which might be next week, it might be the week after. Who knows? Who knows? We're adults with busy lives. Not necessarily interesting lives, but busy lives.
Yeah, true.
So, until next time, guys, stay grognard.